Holocult. We all know that the internet is not a safe place, especially when you're in our line of work. We're constantly looking up nefarious conspiracies, putting out FOIA requests, looking into dropped FBI files. That's why we here in the Hollow Layer trust our ISP to ExpressVPN. I know most of you are probably thinking, why don't you just use incognito mode? Well, let me tell you something. Incognito mode does not hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your internet service provider can still see every single website you've ever visited. That's why even when we're at home, we never go online without using ExpressVPN.
That's right. We don't need any more of our information floating around out there. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't be seen with any of the sites you visit. ExpressVPN also keeps all your information secure by encrypting it 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption out there. ExpressVPN is also available on all of your devices, phones, computers, tablets, even your smart TVs. So there's no excuse as to why you should not be using something like this when it comes to protecting yourself and protecting your data.
Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Mashable. Visit our exclusive link, expressvpn.com/hollow1, and you can get an extra 3 months free on a 1-year package. That's expressvpn.com/HOLO1, expressvpn.com/hollow1 to learn more. Welcome back to the Hollow Sky Podcast, Listener Experience Edition. We are your host. I'm Steven.
And Kyle.
We are here grinding this Saturday night.
Let's do it.
To bring you all the goodness, the content. It's Thursday, though, by the time you're listening to this, so you're almost through the work week. That's always a good time. Thank goodness, because having a job sucks.
Yeah, working is not fun.
But we all already know that. So that's why we're here. Give a little break to the monotony.
Yeah, let's hang out and talk weird shit.
Yeah.
It's way more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's what we do. So thanks for hanging out. Check us out at all our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Discord, Reddit. Search us up, Hollow Sky Podcast, and you'll find us there. You can come and join the community, be part of the Hollow Cult, and hopefully get your weird stories to us so we can share them like we're going to do with Heather's story today. Before you can do that, though, you have to know whereabouts and howabouts you can send us your experience in, and Kyle's got all them details for you ready to rock and roll.
I do. It's pretty simple. All you got to do is write your story out with as much detail as you can recall. Shoot it over to the email, which is going to be hollowskypodcast@gmail.com. You can call or text the Hollow phone whenever you feel like it. 618-556-0837. Text it, say what's up, how you doing. I'll respond when I can. It's hit and miss. But that's what you do. That's what you do. That's how you get to here.
And here is where we are. If you'd like to support the show, there's plenty of ways to do it. You can go over to our Patreon, sign up for that, you get early episodes, ad-free episodes, extra episodes, coupons to our merch store, and you get the official releases of Casket Breath's song drops.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna say we might be the only ones in the game releasing music connected to specific episodes.
Yeah, it's our thing.
Yeah,
We're extra.
we are
Extra AF.
extra. So, yeah, just there's that. But we're having a good time doing it, so that's important. You can
That's all
also
that matters.
You can also go to our website, hollowskypodcast.com, check out the merch store, and grab you up some goodies. Rep the Hollow Cult. Get that cult swag on. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. We love that. And share the show. Share the show. Share the show. Share the show. Social media, word of mouth. Put it in your wedding vows. Whatever you need to do. Get the name out there.
Timestamp 3 minutes, 13 seconds.
Timestamp. Touching grass, timestamp.
Real quick for all my fellow dirtbags out there. I was just talking to Steve about this, and now that I'm talking about it, I'm fucking hungry. But with that being said, if you haven't tried the buffalo chicken pizza rolls, I recommend. They are on my recommended list. Okay? They're good. I wish I had some right now.
I saw somebody going extra on TikTok making pizza rolls. Put them in a pan with butter, get them all cooked up, and then they put some garlic on it.
Oh, yeah.
Garlic.
Sean has done that for me.
Dang.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
What do the kids call it? Bussin'?
Bussin'.
But yeah, we may, at this rate, start a cooking channel as well.
Oh,
so,
that actually, if we did this full time, that would actually be kind of fun, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be a blast.
Yeah. We would have a good time. But
I think it would be fun.
Anyway, we got to get this thing off the ground first.
That's true. That's true.
We're going to dive right in. And I say that just to annoy the people who are like, man, he said we're going to dive right in. He's already been talking for 4 minutes and 27 seconds.
And then in the voice of my daughter, shut up.
Shut up. Listener experience this week comes to us from our friend Heather. Heather has a Ouija board experience.
Uh-oh.
A Ouija board experience.
That's not good.
I'm here for it. Heather says, hi, new listener here. Still catching up on a lot of the episodes. You guys do an amazing job. Anyway, I have a personal story to share. When I was about 16 years old, a friend of mine bought a Ouija board to play around with. It was a store-bought cardboard Ouija that one can find in the kids section of any store you find board games. To this day, I can't understand why they would gear something like this towards children, but let's continue. I'd spend the night and we'd tinker around with the board. Most of the time it spelled out nonsense and random letters, pretty much what I expected to happen. Well, one night it actually started to spell out words. It spelled out my great-grandmother's name and described her, and things that my friend would not have known about my grandmother. It appeared that I was actually speaking with my deceased great-grandmother, whom I had known up until I was 12 years old. And before you suspect I could have been moving the planchette myself subconsciously, there were things my grandmother said through the board that I had not known about her until later when I spoke to my mom, and she told me such things were true. At the time my friend and I spoke to my grandmother through the board, my mother had no idea I was messing around with it because she would have beat my ass. So fast forward a few months, my mom had contacted a medium for the shits and giggles. She had always occasionally visited psychics that were recommended to her by friends, most of which were cold readers and not legit, but she enjoyed the experience anyway. So this medium was a different experience because this lady could apparently speak to dead loved ones. She heard about the woman through a work colleague and set up a meeting. My mother told me that she was set up to meet her at an Olga's kitchen. When my mom arrived and walked into the restaurant to sit down, she was already seated. As soon as my mom sat down, the woman immediately started describing an old woman, perfectly describing my great-grandmother. The medium said the old woman had been pestering her since she woke up this morning. Keep in mind, my mom has never brought up my grandmother,
at all to this medium. She just knew. She told my mom that my great-grandmother is frantically trying to tell my mom something about me. The medium asked my mother, "Do you have a daughter? This woman keeps asking about your daughter. Does your daughter play with a board, a talking board, or a Ouija?" My mom said no, because she had no idea at this time that I had indeed been playing around with the Ouija board on the weekends with my friends. The medium continues saying the old woman is frantically trying to let my mom to tell her daughter that it was not her great grandmother speaking to her from the board. Stop using the board. It's not her, my grandmother was saying. My mom came home immediately, drilled me about if I was using some kind of spirit board or Ouija, and I said yes. How did you know? She then told me the whole thing about the medium, and to say that I was freaked out was an understatement. I told her all the things that the board said, and many of the things told to me through the board were true things about my grandmother. How this thing knew about my grandmother's life that not even I know blows my mind. Who was I talking to then? During the time I was using it, there were strange occurrences that happened, like footsteps on the roof, just things like that which I explained away at the time. But when my mom told me, I immediately stopped messing with that thing. Fast forward to me being in my 30s and dabbling into such occult things. I've come to realize that something like a talking board is basically just a wide open door for literally anything. Why mess with something so unpredictable? Anyway, sorry for the long story. Just had to say my piece about Ouija boards. I know that a lot of people say they've had good experiences while using them, and I can personally say that you can never really know who or what you're actually talking to. Best to not open the door to such things. Thanks for all the great episodes. Glad I started listening to you. You guys keep my brain busy at work. Heather. Heather, first off, thanks so much for taking the time to share your story and the kind words to us.
Yeah.
We're glad you appreciate the show. Hope you're still here with us and listening. Second off, creepy story. It is exceptionally, like, everything about it is weird.
Is this one of them where we consider Granny a narc?
I don't know.
Because she told on her for using a Ouija board?
But it was for safety purposes.
I agree. I do agree.
So I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Safety of your loved ones comes before ratting.
I do agree with that. I'll agree with that sentiment. It's definitely strange. It is. That was the same question I was thinking, though, that she asked. How the fuck did this thing know so much about her granny whenever it wasn't her granny?
Yeah,
Because that's the question.
It's weird because, I mean, we don't know what these entities, what the phenomenon taps into. We don't know what knowledge it's privy to wherever it's coming from. Because, I mean, I'm not going to jump directly to demons, but if you look at demonic possession, some of the signs of demonic possession is acquiring knowledge that would be impossible for the infected to have.
Right.
You know, speaking languages that they never learned, or languages that are almost extinct, or knowing things about the clergy that they would have no, like, such personal things, they should have no inkling about what went on in these person's life. So we don't know how information and how history and how thought processes are transferred in these other realms. It could just be a solid, fluid, like, river of knowledge from everyone, and this thing just happens to hone in, like, oh, we've got Heather using this Ouija board where it will, especially once she starts talking about her grandma, like, here we go. Just tap right in and fucking run with it. But the fact that the grandma came through without even like the mom or the medium or anybody knowing that she used a board, and called her out on using a board and was like, hey, you need to put a stop to this immediately, is pretty gangster.
It is. It's crazy that, because there's so much room in dealing with a board, in dealing with a medium. There's so much room for shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in this case, in both cases, the Ouija and the medium, it all comes full circle to being legit.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in one way or another that this information gets revealed on a whim.
No, because if someone's faking the board, the medium's not going to know it. Essentially.
Yeah, because that in itself is nothing. Like, it wouldn't be. There's no way the medium draws on it.
No.
There were just too many closed doors for all of this to fall into place the way that it did.
Yep, and for the like the way the information got out is too, like we talked about last episode, coincidence and synchronicity. I don't know that they exist all that much anymore. I think it's acknowledgement of the phenomena.
It is. It's also weird that for whatever reason, a Ouija board, talking board, it is a open communications with whatever is out there. Because we talk so much about intent, like putting intent into things. It's weird how that particular instrument negates all intent. It doesn't fucking care. You literally just open the door for whatever communication.
Yeah, I think the intent stops at wanting to communicate with something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the reason people use Ouija boards, because they want to communicate with what they think is the other side.
Right.
And I don't think after that point, after you let that planchette do its thing.
Holocult. Summer is here. So you know what that means. Paranormal investigations and cryptid hunts abound. But before you do that, you're going to need some good clothing. So we're excited to announce another month partnering with Tecovas.
I feel like at this point, it's mandatory to have amazing clothes while you're out cryptid chasing or ghost hunting. Because with Tecovas, every boot you can expect handmade quality, first wear comfort, and timeless Western style. And nothing says like you're there for business, like walking in a pair of snakeskin boots. And with it being summer, like Steve said, they also have some sweet short sleeve moisture wicking pearl snaps that are definitely going to put you on the next level. And if you need to carry some stuff, like all your ghost hunting gear, you can use their ever-growing lineup of rugged and full-grain leather bags that are always going to get you where you need to be.
And to keep cool, they also have men's and women's straw hats. So you're definitely going to want to check them out.
That's perfect for keeping the sun off your head and getting sunburn up there.
The best way to shop for boots is at your local Tecovas stores, where you'll be greeted by the smell of fresh leather and a friendly smile. Come on in, grab a cold one, get fitted by a pro, and shop all the latest styles. I personally am waiting for the cryptid lineup, where I can get me a pair of like Loveland Frogman skin boots, maybe some Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, yeah. Imagine that Loch Ness boot.
Smooth. But until then, you can visit Tecovas.com. That's Tecovas.com. And don't go gently, y'all.
Our bodies come in different shapes and sizes, so doesn't it make sense that our weight loss plans should too? That's the beauty of Noom. They build a personal plan that factors in dietary restrictions, medical issues, and other personal needs so your plan works for you. Noom doesn't restrict or shame when you want to treat yourself. Their flexible program focuses on progress instead of perfection. You don't have to give up carbs or anything. And with their daily lessons, you can learn something new about your food choices every day. After just a few days of using the app, I learned how to recognize cues for overeating and how to choose the right foods to feel full. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. And check out Noom's first ever cookbook, The Noom Kitchen, for 100 healthy and delicious recipes to promote better living. Available to buy now wherever books are sold.
I don't think after that point, anything on the other side gives a shit who you want to talk to. Be it your grandma, be it this, that, or the other. I think whatever's on the other side of that waiting to get over here is waiting with bated breath. Like, let's go.
Yeah. I don't know. when you break through it, it brings out these more complex questions, you know, because I do believe in dark and light. I do believe in good and evil. I do believe in so many things, and it's crazy that in a lot, like with the Ouija board, a lot of circumstances are negative, but those might be the ones we just hear about, you know, because they're negative. People talk more about negative than they do positive for whatever reason. We've been programmed to constantly do that.
The weird thing is that technically she didn't really have any negative experience with the board.
Right.
Because she fully thought that she was talking to her great grandmother. So outside of like hearing the footsteps on the roof, the encounter wasn't negative.
Not yet.
Exactly.
It didn't grow to that level quite yet.
Yeah. I'm wondering if she...
I feel like it would have, though, because that is a soft spot.
It was sinking its claws.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Like it was definitely working to get it, to find the chink in the armor and get in. Or, you know, maybe it was one of, you mentioned sinking claws in, maybe it was one of them things where like it had to have some type of permission for a certain thing. It could be so many nefarious acts.
Oh yeah,
that do come from that, and I don't know, man. Like I do feel like I've been slowly working through my brain about how there very well could be. And I know it's fucking crazy to say, but there very well could be a battle going on between dark and light right now. I just feel that. I feel that.
I feel like it's constant.
Yeah, I
feel
agree.
Like it's probably ramping up.
But I feel like it's so in your face right now that it's unreal, and it's weird that in like cases like the Ouija board that, you know, if this was a negative entity, why so many more negative entities break through on the Ouija board than good?
Yeah. I almost feel like, to me, I feel like there are different levels to these entities, right? There's top tier, like heavy hitters, and then you got your low tier kind of scavengers. And I feel like since a Ouija board is to most people, it's such an inane thing, like it's so easy to use, you have these low tier scavengers that just wait for people to do that.
Yeah,
you know
I could see that.
Like you're waiting for some kids or something, because you're not gonna have some elder god up here waiting for some kid to move the Ouija board around. That dude up there is moving pieces to change the universe. These down here that just feed off of sorrow and emotion and sadness, and they're waiting for stuff like that. They're waiting to scare a kid, you know.
That actually does make a lot of sense.
That's how I feel it. Like can you contact something that's gonna mess you up for a little bit? Probably, but is it gonna be like an Archduke of Hell or some shit? I'm thinking he's probably not waiting to Ouija with you, right?
Yeah,
he's waiting for the dude doing mass ritual sacrifice.
I guess in the end, I just wish that more accounts of good happened. Like,
I don't know that I've heard any.
What do you mean?
Like good, positive connections with a Ouija board.
I mean, just in general. I wish the forces of good were more like plain to see. I feel like we see so much negativity that it would be cool to have that situation where maybe you're kind of digging into the Ouija board, for example, and then entity grabs hold of you, and then just your guardian angel, archangel, whatever, comes down and just goes,
your grandma says, "Hey, stop."
Yeah. You know, I just feel like those, I don't know. I feel like the fight between good and evil is real. I feel like sometimes I'll be honest, I feel like good people rely too much on faith than they should. I feel like they're too optimistic. That's a better way of putting it. Because I kind of feel like in today's world, the dark side might be gaining an upper hand. There's a lot of bad shit going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like it might have an upper hand. Not to say that you should give up the fight or anything like that. I wish not that I want a braggy angel to be fucking walking around swagging their shit, but you know what I mean? Like I just feel like I guess actions speak louder than words. You know, a little bit of proof here and there for people. I think it would sway people back to being like, shit. You know, you're right. There needs to be more good being pumped out into the world. There needs, you know, I need to be that person when I need to be that person.
Yeah.
You know, whenever it comes time for me to stand 10 toes down and stand up for what I believe in or do what I got to do, I'm going to do that because that's the right thing to do. I just feel like there's so many people that would just be like, I don't want the discomfort of the argument. I'm going to go this way now. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
And in hindsight, that is the bad side winning. You just getting people to shut up and sit down is a chalk on the board for the dark. You know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know.
It makes sense. I mean, it's just a lot how it is now, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's all stacked against us, and like kind of weird that we span from here from a Ouija board, but Ouija boards have always been no throughout time, really. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna actually do a whole episode on Ouija board. I still might, because there was a specific time where it was like when they were marketing it hard, like everybody had one. Like it was a big thing to kind of get together on the weekends and see if you couldn't contact a loved one. You know? Like that's legit.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
And then it kind of took this, I don't know if religion got its hands on it and demonized it or what it did, but it took this turn where like it turned into this real negative thing. And like, I'm not discounting anybody's experience, right? That have had experiences with these, because I haven't. And like I don't know if they're all it's cracked up to be, honestly. Like I've got two hanging on my wall over there.
I've used one before, and it's definitely weird.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've fucked around with one, but I was so young. I was probably in like 4th or 5th grade.
Same.
I don't remember shit.
Oh, I remember the planchette moving, but at the end of the day,
it's a bunch of 5th graders using it.
Yeah. Is it somebody else moving the planchette? You know what I mean?
Let's take one to X.
But to feel the planchette move when you're not the one moving it definitely makes you feel uncomfortable.
If we take it to X, where the big dog,
I don't know that would be a good idea.
We can just set it there, and if he's as powerful, like, oh, I'm gonna test it. If he's as powerful as he says he is, move that planchette with nobody touching it. Motherfucker just starts spinning.
I mean, does that negate all negative effects from using a Ouija board? If you just set it down, you're like, you do it, bud.
If I stand there and do this,
yeah. You do it. I'm not going to touch it. Therefore, I'm not technically using mystical no objects.
I'll just give it the finger the whole time.
Hell yeah. That would definitely do it. I think that alone would negate any negative outcomes.
Yeah. Yeah. If I was an interdimensional demon, low-lying, low-hanging fruit interdimensional entity, and I finally see someone activate the portal that is a Ouija board in the middle of a cemetery, and the first thing I see when I poke my head through is myself giving me the finger, I would probably be like, nah, I'm square.
Yeah. That guy's mean.
Send me back. But it is the whole context of the encounter is definitely weird, Heather. I'm curious if you're still listening and if you want to hit us back on this. At any time you were using the board before the medium, did you get any weird vibes from the board? Like the footsteps on the roof and shit is strange, but like, was there any kind of red flags that you may have missed while talking to the board? Like when you thought you were talking to your grandma and she's like giving you a recipe for her cookies, it said you could also give me a blood sacrifice, something like that, because that would be interesting.
That would be weird if that was the case.
Curious. But shout out to Heather for sending us this Ouija board story.
Much love.
Shout out to the great grandma for holding it down, smacking away the low hanging entities when they're trying
Flop,
to get
flop.
through.
Grandma giving the smoke.
Shout out to grandmas.
It is also cool though to know that for people like Heather, there are people out there spiritually protecting their loved ones.
Yeah.
That's
gotta
cool
do it.
news. That's cool news.
Somebody's got to do it.
Oh,
Because
I'm with it.
Here we all are out here steady using Ouija boards.
Bro, whenever that's my time, I'm going to be in a pair of blue jeans, a fucking white tank top with my hair slicked back, wearing them shoulder holsters. I'm going to look just like Bruce Willis
You already do.
from Die Hard.
You already do.
I know, but I'm gonna keep that mantra going
You are Bruce Willis.
when I pass, and the bad spirits are gonna be all types of fucked up when they see me in the room.
Oh, I love it.
I'm gonna just be screaming "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" and
I hope
down
so.
an ibuprofen.
God, if you go before I do, I'm going to get on a Ouija board. And if you do not, the first thing, I'm not even going to ask a question.
Just
I'm
spell
gonna-
out "Yippee-ki-yay."
Yes. Yes, that's the
You're
only
like, "This is
way.
Kyle. I know it's him."
Yep. But,
And then you're gonna question it, and I'm just gonna write "suck it."
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
"Nope, definitely Kyle.
Confirmed.
Definitely Kyle."
Confirmed. Fucking confirmed. Thanks again, Heather, for writing in. Definitely interesting story. A lot of tie-ins, a lot of like confirmations, which is
Definitely
it's weird.
makes it feel real.
But yeah, if you're still listening, hit us up if there was ever any kind of weird red flags directly from the board that kind of made you stand out. Like, because you said it knew everything about your great grandmother, but did it say stuff that was like, damn, my great grandmother definitely wouldn't say it. Like,
That's a good question.
saw the head off this lamb or some shit.
Yeah, like
you know?
something you just casually overlooked that now looking back, you'd be like,
Like, yeah, that
oh
was
shit,
definitely
I missed that one.
a
I missed that
shitty
one.
little demon or some shit. But we appreciate you taking the time to write that in. These Ouija board I might have a couple more in here. I got the folder out here. We're trucking through this folder, let me tell you. And that goes for everybody listening. Keep sending them in over here. We might not get to them soon, but we will get to them.
Yes.
I'm popping them all in a folder called Listener Encounters. And then when they're done, they go in another folder called Listener Encounters Done.
Organization at its finest.
That's the way we do things around here, honestly. But yeah. Shout out to Heather's great grandma for just still being a steady great grandma from the other side.
Keeping everybody safe. Doing what she has to do.
So that's it. Get through this work week. Everybody, Hollow Cult members, we love you. Stay safe, stay weird, and until we meet again. If you're messing with a Ouija board, you never know who you're going to get on the other side. Prince,
Sham Wow guy.
Sham Wow guy, Billy Mays, King Tut, Mephistopheles. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now. See ya.